First at 9.
You're witnessing footage of the Colombo port taken from the News First Centre at 8:52 p.m. today.
This is the news at 9. It's 5:30 p.m. in Cairo and 9 o'clock in Colombo.
Meanwhile, in Egypt, in the latest developments, over 400 people are reported to have been killed in pro-Morsi protests. The News First International Desk has been closely monitoring the developments there, and we will have a comprehensive report coming up later on in the news. I'm Nadim Majid.
And I'm Nushan Arifadi.
First, a look at the headlines.
Headlines on News First at 9.
Health trade unions charge that substandard equipment has been imported for blood transfusions. New regulations imposed for three-wheeler transportation. North Central Province Teacher Advisory Service examination cancelled due to discrepancies. And in news overseas, hundreds killed in Egypt crackdown.
News First at 9.
Well, Cabinet Media spokesperson Minister Kehelia Rambukwela presided at the weekly Cabinet Media briefing on the Cabinet decisions taken today. Let's take a look at what happened, what transpired there.
We had given a very short time span of 6 months to submit a full report. We cannot accept allegations levelled at the governments stating that they disappeared from their places of origin. This is because the law was not implemented in these areas during this time period. This is a major task. The President in a statement wanted this document to be compiled in a short time frame. I believe that this commission will possess the powers vested with the Presidential Commission. No, she will be arriving in the island on the 26th. We are not concerned with that. We invited her to come to Sri Lanka.
Well, that was of course the Cabinet Media spokesperson Minister Kehelia Rambukwela announcing that a committee has been appointed to seek solutions to the issues surrounding the milk powder problem that has been felt in the country recently.
Minister Maithripala Sirisena proposed that a subcommittee should be appointed to look into whether milk powder products with DCD and whey protein exists in the market. Cabinet approval has been granted to look into the future course action.
The Health Union Trades Alliance has stated that the substandard equipment has been imported for the use of blood transfusions.
Now, the chairman of the Health Trade Union Alliance, Saman Ratnapriya, noted that they have called for an impartial investigation into the quality of the equipment that has been brought down for blood transfusions.
This is a unit used for blood transfusion. This is also known as saline wires. However, this is not used to provide saline. This is a blood transfusion unit. This has been imported from a Singaporean company. We need to state clearly this equipment is of substandard and it should not be used. The production date is the 24th of May 2013 and it is due to expire in May 2016. There is a sticker on this unit. We removed the sticker this morning. There is a triangular shaped hole visible. So how suitable is it to be used on patients? We exposed a similar incident last year as well. The Health Services Trade Union Alliance noted that 2 batches of blood transfusion sets were imported to the country under 2 batches. During the media briefing, it was revealed that 135,000 blood transfusion units were imported under batch number 232509, while a further 27,500 sets were imported under the batch number 232510. The cost per unit stood at 42 rupees and 28 cents. Accordingly, the total cost incurred is 6,870,500 rupees. We have informed the Minister of Health in this regard and we hope that a proper investigation will be launched into this matter. This can be bought at a cheap rate and shipments of this sort of equipment can yield high commissions. We have had a similar experience of this nature previously as well. Even the media has witnessed it. The blood bank used old equipment and this was highlighted. The perpetrators are free, but that is a separate matter. We urge the Minister of Health and the Secretary to the Ministry to conduct an investigation into this regard and reveal the outcome of the investigation to the world. If there is any problem, stop using the equipment immediately.
Also in local news tonight, members of the Free Media Movement arrived at the Sri Lanka Human Rights Commission today to discuss the situation that was faced by journalists on the 1st of August when they visited the Valueri area to cover the events that unfolded there following the drinking water problem that affected Ratapaswala and surrounding areas.
The members of the FMM participated in these talks following an invitation extended by the SLHRC.
Our discussions with the officials of the Human Rights Commission were based on a number of topics. We spoke the continuous threats and assaults faced by journalists when carrying in the line of work. We were of the opinion that if this does not come to an end, it will go out of control. It is the police that should control the civil activities of a democratic country. If the nation's army takes over these duties, then it goes to show that democracy is not present in the country. This is becoming a country governed by a militarized government or a dictatorship. We need to request the authorities to intervene to stop this process and create a suitable atmosphere for the general public and the journalists to live within a democratic framework.
Also in local news, the Commissioner General of Motor Traffic, S.H. Harishchandra, says that new regulations that were introduced for three-wheelers will be presented in Parliament in due course. However, according to certain three-wheeler operators' unions, the new regulations are plagued with a myriad of problems. A list of 19 regulations were introduced for three-wheelers via a special gazette notification that was issued under the Motor Traffic Act. Among those regulations was the maximum speed limit that a three-wheeler can travel at, which is 40 kilometers per hour. Another regulation in the list is that passengers cannot enter or exit a three-wheeler from the right side, and the maximum number of passengers that can be transported at a time should be displayed on the three-wheeler. We compiled this list of regulations taking into account the views of the All Island Three-Wheeler Association after having a discussion with them. Through this, we expect to implement certain regulations for the three-wheeler drivers who render a very important service. The All Island Three-Wheeler Drivers Trade Union commends the newly introduced regulations. However, the National Three-Wheeler Drivers Confederation says that these regulations need to be abolished. We consider this move a responsibility undertaken by the government to benefit the entire three-wheeler driver community in accordance with the Mahinda Chintana Vision for the Future manifesto. Therefore, we will render our fullest support for its success. We would like to inform the three-wheeler driver community and the general public not to reject this move. Over 6 months ago, we prepared a document containing guidelines to direct the three-wheeler passenger transport service in a new direction. We presented the document to the Minister of Economic Development, Basil Rajapaksa. During that discussion, all the related unions and associations agreed to it. Now a gazette has been released along with a number of rules and regulations. Such injustices need not take place. Please withdraw this arbitrary gazette notification. These are conspiracies. We consider this gazette notification as a successful one. This regulatory institution is the start that we required. We are happy that the Minister of Transport has come to this decision despite the difficulties. What we say is that there is no need for three-wheeler drivers not to operate under laws. There need to be laws. Before talking about rules for three-wheelers, look at how much damage is caused at railway crossings. First, erect some gates at those railway crossings. Are there regulations for private buses? Do people travel in buses according to the number of seats? First, look into that. Three-wheeler drivers express the following views regarding the new regulations. I feel this is unfair. We feel that the person who formulated these regulations is a person who knows nothing of the profession. They are burdening the three-wheeler drivers. Either we should stay at home. Are we to become burglars? When you take into account the expenditure, we cannot agree to these regulations. This is unfair. This affects our profession. They are introducing new regulations and not allowing us to continue in our trade. We will take a decision regarding these new regulations after the Honourable Minister presents it to Parliament. Although it is limited to a gazette notification, it will be transformed into a legal document. After it is tabled in Parliament, we will look into how it can be implemented. A rule book for three-wheelers.
Decision taken to close the right side of three-wheelers, preventing passengers from using the right side to enter or exit the vehicle. Law introduced to install meters in three-wheelers. Law introduced on the number of passengers inside three-wheelers. Is it sufficient just to introduce laws? For the attention of authorities.
Welcome back. As the provincial council polls draw closer, various views are being expressed on election platforms. Here are some of the views selected by the News First team.
Today, leaders of the UNP and the JVP are joining the SLF-led alliance. Meanwhile, NGOs and diplomatic missions are working towards toppling the government. This is your government. Therefore, it is your responsibility to ensure the victory of the government. It is your duty to protect the country and to ensure that your children will receive the dividends of development. An issue arose in Ratupaswala. Even we in the government state that it should have been handled by the police and resolved in a peaceful manner. I remember such an issue arose in Katnaika last year. An innocent youth working in the area died. Here, 3 individuals died. The president had taken several good decisions. However, I need to state clearly that the wrongdoers need to be punished. The UPFA, UNP and the GVP are facing a string of issues. There is infighting in order to obtain your votes. Why do you wish to cast your precious ballot for individuals such as this?
මේ මොකද මැතිවරණ පොරේ මේ ඇන කොටාගෙන තමුන්නාස්ලාගේ වටිනා ඡන්දයෙන් යන්නේ මොකටද?
ජනතාවගේ අනාගතය ගැන දැක්මක් තියෙන ජනතාවගේ අනාගතය ගැන සැලැස්මක් තියෙන
We understood that there is a need for a party that has a plan for the future of the public and a vision for the future. There is no justice in the country at present. You saw what the rulers of the country did to people who requested for water. What do the rulers of the country wish to obtain through this vote? They want stability. They want to ensure their existence. Whatever they say to obtain the votes, the rulers of the country have no intention of doing any good to the general public.
And up next is a look at the newspaper cartoon of the day.